Hello everybody! Hi! I'm Darfius.
And I'm Tara.
And you're watching Serial Movie. So welcome back in this car. So this is how we're gonna end our Oscars countdown for 2020. We're gonna end it with the movie called The Irishman. Woo! Do you like The Irishman?
No.
Yeah, but I love it. So let's get to it. So this Irishman is a gangster movie. So for this Oscar, they were nominated for 10 nominations. Wow! And I will hope they win as well. For some people, they hope the Irishman win 10 nominations. So for this one, they were nominated for Best Visual Effects, Best Film Editing, Best Production Design, and Best Costume Design, Best Cinematography, Best Adapted Screenplay, and 2 nominations for Best Supporting Actor for Al Pacino and Joe Pesci, and Best Director Martin Scorcese, and of course,
finally,
the Best Picture. Ooh, I mean,
it's 10 nominations. It's a lot. What's the other one that get 10? Huh? So I think there's another two movies with 10 nominations, which is 1917 and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Wow.
Joker leading with 11.
Joker is 11? Oh, so there's a lot of them that has a lot of nominations.
Yeah.
Now when we sums it up, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard, right? It's because like almost all of them was very good. I mean, I don't think we get to see this year to see anyone who won 11, because like the competitions of it, you know, 1917 Joker, and what's more,
2019 is a good year for movies. True. All of them are very competitive and they deserve to be where they are. They deserve the nominations that they get. Anyways, moving on.
Anyways, for The Irishman, this movie was directed by Martin Scorsese. We all know he done a lot of great movies. It was written by Steve Zalen for the screenplay. For the movie, it was written by him. There's a book of The Irishman written by Charles Brent. So for casting, I'm just gonna mention a few casting members that worth mentioning in the movie, like the big stars. We have Robert De Niro, we have Al Pacino, Joe Pesci, and Harvey Keitel. I mean, for the last one, I don't think anybody knows him that much, but you can see him in Pulp Fiction. So Harvey Keitel, you might know him for the movie in Pulp Fiction. He plays the wolf. You can see how cool he was in the movie. It's the same for The Irishman. You can see that he's just that good. So it was released on 27 November 2009. So what is it about? So basically, this movie, it focused about the journey of this guy, Frank Sharon. He's just a in the movie he was the Irishman. So basically the movie is about him. The movie is about his journey from, you know, a simple thug gangster, the lowest of the lowest gangster. His journey goes all the way up, and he joining the big boys.
One of the big tables.
Yeah, the big tables.
To have a chair on the high tables.
On the high tables, yeah. We play with the big boys in the mob underworld. You know, like in this movie. For me, I don't really study the history, you know, because we've seen Godfather. It's fiction as well. So like this one, they say some of it was based on a true story. So I'm not sure if the name was real. But this guy, they play the movie, they focus on him, and then they show how the gangster world works. This one basically plays around New York. Yeah, you should watch it because it shows the movie about the gangster life. Basically, that's all about it. I cannot spoil more about it. Alright, so moving.
Only the fact that it's 3 hours and 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
It's a long time to spend for a movie.
Alright, so in honor for that duration, we're gonna do this review for 2 days. So just this one, you can see the time, right? 2 days, right? 2 days.
Yeah, we're on day 1.
Yeah, day 1 still, yeah.
One eternity later.
Alright,
okay,
so
welcome to day 2!
So now it's time for acting performances. I'm just gonna say they're all that good. So it's not fair for me to do the comparable. So I'm just gonna say what I think their strongest point in this movie. You know, like for Robert De Niro, he plays a simple, smart, and I think he's very humble in a way. If you see like a lot, I mean, he's very respectful. I mean, he is very. I mean, he plays the game well in the underworld that keeps him alive and be in the right circle. So I think it's worthy to be it's called smart and also respectful. And yeah, even though he was ambitious, but he's doing it smart. It's not like some gangsters that goes very aggressive. So his character was special in that way. So I think for Joe Pesci, in this movie, he's such a mysterious guy, scary. Yeah, his mysterious self for me it scares me, and he's calm all the time. I mean, how come you're that calm? I think that's what make him such a great leader. I mean, in the movie, if there's a big gangster, he's bigger.
Well, he makes me feel scared. I felt like I don't want to be around him. I don't want to breathe the same air just in case he got mad that I steal his oxygen or something.
Yeah, if you watch the movie, you see you will know what happened to the guy who makes jokes about his badge. So yeah, now we get to Al Pacino, the legend, the Godfather, the poster boy from the Godfather. I mean, like the poster boy for most film gangster movie, and that everybody do reference to, like, if you're that gangster or if you're that real man, they're gonna refer to Al Pacino's character in the Godfather. So yeah, but Al Pacino in this movie doesn't play his normal character, gangster. I mean, you can see him in Scarface. I think maybe he just mixed up Godfather and Scarface, so they become like in the middle, and then were born Jimmy Hoffa. So Jimmy Hoffa, Al Pacino, he's played as a hothead. He talked loud, and yeah, I think his character
He's
was
very extravagant.
very good,
Yeah.
and his character strong. He's very disciplined. So he plays a character. I mean, this is my own opinion. I don't know about everybody else. Like most of them, like Robert De Niro, Pesci, and Al Pacino, they get this character that in their previous gangster movie they want to be that character, but they didn't get it. Like Robert De Niro, he plays back then in Godfather as Vito Corleone. He plays the biggest gangster.
Everybody knows what Vito Corleone is.
Yeah, I mean, like the biggest gangster is. But in this movie, he plays the smallest one there is. So for Pesci, he plays a small thug before in Goodfellas, and he was ambitious to be the big boys. In the end, he fails. But in this movie, he became the biggest one. So yeah, he get that kind of character. And for Al Pacino, if you watch Godfather, his father was hoping him to be like a senator,
a legitimate leader somewhere
in the government, maybe a senator or something. But he didn't get to be that in Godfather. But in this movie, he becomes that. I mean, he owns this comedian. He's like, I mean, he was pretty legitimate. I'm just not gonna say all of it legitimate, but his positions, his ranks in the movie was from a legitimate work. So yeah, what do you think of acting? What was it?
Well, this is definitely a star-studded movie, and everyone's performance is top-notch, and they all deserve an applause. And however, for me, De Niro's performance is probably his best now in this movie.
Okay.
And I just like the fact that they managed to persuade Joe Pesci out from retirement. He's an old man. He basically don't want to work anymore.
A few moments later.
How do we feel about it? I feel, honestly, I'm lost in some of the scenes because I was doing chores while I was watching it. And it's my bad. It's very disrespecting for the movie for me to do so. I promise I'll catch it sometime after. Okay, again. But anyways, from what I've catch from bits and pieces that I managed to focus on, it is very fun. It's a fun ride. I love the dialogues. I love the beautiful scenes. So yes, looking forward for my rewatch on Netflix. What about you?
Alright, so for me, I love how grand the setting of the place. I mean, the place they choose show how the big and influential they are. All the places they go, like this bar, everything was very expensive. Even the hotels, even the every place that they go, they make it that it was logical that they were all very rich, and they're all a gangster that wasn't that famous in Insta back then. There's no social media, so yeah. Alright, so I like how it's funny, but it's gory funny.
Like dark comedy.
Like in the scene, like the jokes that they make. they don't make jokes. Okay, I correct that. They don't make jokes, but it's funny even though it's dark. So I think if you watch it, you understand. I love how actually they show these gangsters, all of them, their existence can actually change the course of history. You know, the game that they play, you know, because of this gangster, they connected with this guy, they connected with this person, they can change even the Americans' economy. You know, if their main villain for the gangster is Kennedy, the president itself. They were even the enemies was the big person. So I feel for me, even though it's 3 hours and 30 minutes, I feel relaxed watching it. For me, it's not much of a boring scene. Even the unnecessary scene was funny. You know, there's a one scene where they're talking about fish. So like you can see like almost 20 or maybe that's exaggeration, maybe 15 minutes of it they were arguing about the fish. So my favorite scene, first one, I love the first time Frank Sharon meets Angelo. You know this scene, Angelo meets him because he was caught trying to burn a laundry. This scene was so interesting because during the meeting, the one that present was Frank, Angelo, and Russ. Russ ordered Frank to burn the laundry, but turns out to be that laundry was belong to Angelo. And when Angelo asked Frank who gave him the go ahead to burn the laundry, he picked some other guy's names. You know, like not Russ. So like I said, that scene was cool. You know, because Russ was there just looking at him, didn't tell him anything, didn't give him a guideline. He just need to figure out why Angelo asking me this and Russ gave me that look. I mean, he is the one who ordered, but in the end he said, "Oh, maybe, yeah, someone else ordered me to do it." The Whisperers, and then Angelo let him go. Angelo was a big player like Russ also, so usually the
But
guy.
not as powerful as Russ, I guess.
Yeah, not as Professor. It's so scary.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yes, Russ is so scary. So yeah, I mean, like, he didn't kill Frank. He said solely because Russ said something. We don't know what Russ tell to Angelo, but he said, "You have a good friend here. You don't know how lucky you are. So go ahead." So yeah, I love that scene, and also I love the scene. Well, I love the scene where Russ explained to Frank why he need to be the one who killed Jimmy Hoffa. That was scene was devastating. It was sad. Frank was best friend with Jimmy Hoffa, but in the end, he accepts the logics of Russ of why he must be the one who pulls the trigger. So
It's
yeah,
a very sad scene.
true.
Yes. But as for me, if he likes the end, I like the beginning. I remember like that scene where De Niro said something about house painter painting houses and all. At first I thought maybe it's just some old man joke, you know. Like, oh, back in the day I used to be the house painter. I literally paint houses. But turns out to be they paint the houses. They also literally paint the houses but with blood.
So yeah, we love the code name.
Yeah, it's very iconic for me. I love it.
Now it's time for Seriously. Let's go. Seriously, the Irishman. Robert De Niro wanted the film to retain the same title as the book. I Heard You Paint Houses. The house that appears at the beginning of the film is the same house that appears in Goodfellas, 1990. Martin Scorsese has said that he couldn't get a Hollywood studio to back his epic mob movie, claiming nobody was interested in making a film with him and Robert De Niro anymore. Fortunately, Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos ultimately stepped behind the production with a proposed budget of $160 million, and the film was finally greenlit. Welcome back. I hope you find that interesting. So let's get to our last segment, which is
Serial Meta.
So for storyline, we give them 90%. Solely because the storyline was great. There's too much story in this one story. Hence, 3 hours and 30 minutes. So we give them 90%.
Yes. So acting performance, we gave them 85%. Yay.
They were all very good.
Yes.
They're big actors.
Players, yeah.
No doubt about it. So how do we feel about it? We give them 86% because obviously we loved it.
That brings us to the total serial meter for The Irishman to be 87%. Whoop, whoop.
Alright, so lastly, for those of you who haven't watched it yet, you should consider really watching it. If you enjoy all the old gangsters movie like Goodfellas, The Godfather, Scarface, So if you love watching gangster movie, you should consider watching Irishman. If it's very smart, I mean not like very smart. It's political. It has a secret plot. If you like surprises, strategy, So reminder, it's Oscar weekend, so mark your calendar. We all gonna watch it as well. I hope you guys gonna enjoy this Oscar. We do every year.
We'll see you guys there.
Right.
Shall we?
In the years to come, we want to be there.
Bye.
Bye.
Somebody please sponsor us to Oscars next year.